Alright you guys, so I have a review for you on a new device here. This is the Samsung Galaxy Prevail LTE on Boost Mobile. And this is actually being sold on a couple of different networks using other names such as the Galaxy Core Prime, which I believe is being sold on Sprint Prepaid and possibly Virgin Mobile. But at least I know for right now, at least I know that it is on Sprint Prepaid and it is the Prevail LTE on Boost Mobile. Now, the device itself is, there's a lot of technology that's in this that's new to the market, particularly for prepaid phones. And that's what makes this phone so different from some of the other ones. So before we get into that, one of the things that I wanted to go through is just the physical outside of it. So on the front here, we have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. We have your sensors here to turn the screen on and off when you're talking on the phone and whatnot. You have your earpiece here. You have a back button, home button, and you also have a list key, which is to open up the different applications that you have on here and clear them out and whatnot. So that's what we have going on here. And like I said, home key, and then we'll go on to the side here, and that's where your power button's at here on your side here. On the top you have your noise canceling microphone. You have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and you've got on this side you've got your rocker panel, volume key. You have on the bottom you have your microphone, and you have your micro USB port right here. So that's some of the nice things about it. Now, one of the things you can't see on this white finish here that's very typical Galaxy S-like is that there is a very nice pearl finish underneath the Corning Gorilla Glass screen that we have here. So that's something that's very nice as well on this particular device. On the back, it's got a nice matte white finish to it. And on the back you can see we've got, Galaxy Prevail LTE here, Samsung. So again, carries a lot of high quality stuff from the Galaxy S phones over to this particular device. LED flash, a 5 megapixel rear facing camera, and your speaker. And the 5 megapixel rear facing camera is actually not that bad of a camera. It does take good photos. But one of the big things here is unless you're blowing the picture up to, a poster size photo, or you're cropping the heck out of the picture, I don't think you're really going to notice that big of a difference with this particular device in picture quality if you're just, posting stuff quickly up on Facebook or, to Instagram or wherever. So that's some of the other things that are nice about this. Now, the screen quality on this, you can see it's got some very vibrant colors that you can see on the screen here, and those are really nice. Now, the screen itself it's not really an HD screen. I think it's a 480 by 800 screen with 207 ppi, which is a lot lower than the Galaxy S3. And it's lower than some of the other phones that are available right now on Boost Mobile. Now, this device goes for $129, so it's really not a bad phone. When you take off the back battery cover here, you have a 2000 milliamp lithium-ion battery. You've got your micro SD card slot right here, as well as underneath it you have a SIM card slot, or mini or micro SIM card slot to go underneath it too. Now, I have a 32 gigabit micro SD card in here, and the reason for that is the device itself only has 8 gigabits of internal memory on it, which isn't really a lot, but it only has about 5 gigs available to the user after the operating system and whatnot is already installed on this. So that's one of the things you have to consider when you're looking at this particular device here. Is you're going to want to get an SD card for it if you have any pictures or movies or whatnot that you want used. So One of the other features that I really like about this particular device is how quick it is, and part of it has to do with the new type of processing that's in it. That is a little bit different from other phones out there on the particular market right now. This phone has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 processor, and where a lot of other phones like the Sharp Aquos, the LG Volt, the HTC, or not HTC, I'm sorry, ZTE, Warp Sequent all use Snapdragon 400s. The 410 is a little bit different. And the research I've done on it is let's see, what is it? The processor that it uses is a Cortex A53 quad core 1.2 gigahertz processor on it. Now the difference between what the LG Volt uses is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400, which uses a Cortex A7 quad core, also at 1.2 gigahertz per core. Now, the difference here is the A53, or let's just go in simple terms, the Snapdragon 410 and the 400, is that the 410 is capable of 64-bit processing. It is also a more energy efficient processor for mobile technology. Whereas the 400 is only capable of 32-bit processing and is still very energy efficient, but it's not as energy efficient, and it also uses less motherboard space than the 400. The 410 uses less motherboard space than the 400. So that kind of gives you the type of microprocessing behind it, and some people may understand it. Some people may say, yeah, I don't really care for any of that type of information, but I figured this is a good representation of why you need to know. Like I said, a lot of things that I really liked about this was just how responsive this is to everything that you want to do with the phone. And like I said, even the camera quality is very good. Now you can see it is a little bit laggy. The camera itself is not quite, dare I say it, like most modern cameras. A lot of I swear, I feel like, this is just my opinion, I feel like this device essentially uses a lot of the same parts as far as the cameras are concerned as the Galaxy S2, the Epic Touch 4G, because the Epic Touch 4G was a 2 megapixel front, 5 megapixel rear, and it performed about the same way. As you've probably seen in maybe some of my other videos from years ago, the S2 camera performs in about the same way. But this has a better processor in it. It does have a gig of RAM memory in it, which is pretty standard on most phones nowadays, unless you're going with the higher end phones like the G2, G3s, S5s, blah, blah, blah. Those are all up at like 2 gigs of RAM memory, or the S3, which is a gig and a half of RAM memory. Comparing this to my S3, I would say that I think this is a better phone. It has better battery life. It is definitely a little bit quicker, a little bit more responsive than the S3. And coming in at $129, I actually picked this one up for a little bit better deal than that. But coming in at $129, I think this is an extremely good phone for the money. And I really have to say that if you are looking for a good budget phone, I know this is kind of a quick video. If you're looking for a good budget phone, this is a great phone to go with. And another thing, the graphics processor in this, also a 64-bit graphics processor with an Adreno 306 graphics processor, or GPU, in it, versus the Adreno 305 that's available on most other units running the Snapdragon 400 processor. So again, this is just kind of a quick tutorial on what makes this phone such a really good value at $129 and available on Boost Mobile. This is the phone that the Galaxy Prevail 2 should have been. When that came out, it was, it only had, what, a 4-inch display. This is a 4.5-inch display. and the Prevail 2 was a single core 1 gigahertz processor, I believe, in it, and only 4 gigs of built-in memory. The thing was, in my honest opinion, it was a joke. Where this is how it should have been. It's a quality built phone. I mean, even this metal band that's around the outside here is just phenomenal. It looks like a quality piece. It looks like a phone that is worth more than $129. This is, to me, this stands out. And I've even had compliments from people walking around, saying, well, how much did you pay for that phone? Considering it was, I told them, hey, it's a prepaid phone. They said, well, how much did you pay for it? And I said, well, I bought it at this retailer. I got it for this price. I'm not going to mention the retailer or the price that I got it for. But you can get it from Boost Mobile for $129. And a lot of them said, wow, that's a really beautiful looking phone and it performs really well for $129. The battery life is also another great thing. Yesterday, I really put this thing to the test. And I was able to get 17 hours of use out of this. Moderate use. It's not heavy use, moderate use. Now let me go and show you where the battery's at right now. It's been off the charger all day. I'm at 71% battery life right here. I have been off the charger for 8 hours, 9 hours right now. And I've done a couple of phone calls, been on the phone for a while. Obviously, you can see the screen. I've been using it for Facebook, a couple other things. But 9 hours on the battery, I'm at 70%. I went 16, almost 17 hours yesterday, and I still had 54% battery life left, which puts this, in my opinion, on the same scale level as the LG Volt, which is an extremely good battery life phone, but that also has a 3,000 milliamp battery. This is only a 2,000 milliamp battery, which this battery is then, in that case, the same size as the one found in the S3. So if you are looking at possibly an S3 as a possible purchase on Boost Mobile, because they are coming down in price, they are becoming more affordable, I would definitely put this into consideration at $129. If you can get a really good deal on an S3, by all means go with it. However, if you are looking for something that's a little bit cheaper than the S3, I would definitely, hands down, put it on this. It is using Samsung's TouchWiz system, so if you are used to Samsung's TouchWiz, this runs pretty much the same. It does not have S-Voice and a couple of those Galaxy S features to it, but it does have, for the most part, it has everything that you need on this particular device. Everything that you would primarily use is going to be on this device. And it is running, just so that I can show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. About device. It is running Android version 4.4.4, which is the last version of Android KitKat that they have before going to 5.0. This phone, being that it is a 64-bit processing phone, has the capability of running Android 5.0. It's a matter of when Samsung and Sprint / Boost Mobile / Virgin Mobile decide to go and put the update out for this phone is what's going to be variable. Obviously, right now they're going for more of their flagship phones to get the update, and it's going to work their way down the line. But if you are looking at a good device to go with, you can't go wrong with the Galaxy Prevail LTE, Samsung Galaxy Prevail LTE on Boost Mobile. And if this answered some questions for you about what makes this phone so special, I hope that it did for you. If not, give me a question. Write it in the comment section below. If you have any, if you have positive feedback, hey, leave it on there. If not, whatever. Like the video, share the video. If anybody's looking to buy one of these, share this video with them. If you have already purchased one of these and know people that want to sell or want to buy one of these, definitely let me know. Or share the video. Let them know how good of a device this can be. It's really, truly an awesome device, and I'd like to share this with everybody. So, again, If you like the video, share it, leave some comments if you have any questions, and enjoy your phones.